what they call weeding from a more natural or indigenous perspective, earth-friendly weeding. I love the greenhouse, you know. We went for years with that one, then we built a little one, and then we built this big one. But I don't think I'll build any more. We're getting old, and we don't have a whole community of us living here, just us and our son. We might have a community at some time, but right now we've got all the food we can manage, and we want to just grow enough to live off of. So this is good. You know, there is a such thing as good enough. That's plenty. You have a lot to be thankful for, my friends. All of us do. This corn last year, when I first planted popcorn in the greenhouse, this corn grew all the way up to the ceiling. 13.5 feet high there in the center. And we had a lot of 12-footers and 11-footers. And I've grown this popcorn before, and usually at maturity it's a little shorter than myself, 6 feet. And this plant, they grow from 4 to 5 feet 10, somewhere in there. And they love it in here. A lot warmer, that's for sure, and more humid. That's another thing about the biodiversity. Having a lot of plants and having the trimmings of plants that were either mowed with a string trimmer or pulled for mulching, clipped for mulching. Those are sending out CO2, those plant trimmings, and creates a humidity here. And that's important in the dry Montana Rocky Mountains. For some crops like peppers and tomatoes, they like to have some humidity. They're rooted in the Mexican and Central American and South American jungles, you know, where they used to have a lot of humidity. So one nice thing about growing in a greenhouse, you can create an alternative atmosphere to what you have outside, and then grow a more diverse variety of plants. Like I said in the beginning, biodiversity is one of the keys to healthy living for all of us. Oh, there's a spider climbing up. I'm not taking a good video of that, I'm sure. Where are you going? To the pole. Okay. Okay, that's good enough. That's enough for today. I'll probably have to edit a bunch of this stuff out anyway. No songs this time. Okay. You got it. Well, back to what they call weeding in the greenhouse, that I call keeping balance in the greenhouse. And I just recently discovered that I have an allergy to plantain pollen. I've had a hay fever, grass pollen allergy just about all my life, because I grew up in a place, in a city, where the grass was always mowed, and so my body as a child could not get conditioned to grass that goes to seed, you know, tall grass that pollinates. So when I moved out of the city when I was 18, I first came in contact with tall pollinating grass and discovered I had an allergy to it long time ago. But I've been around plantain for a long time, and I didn't realize that it also contributes to my hay fever until I started letting it grow in the greenhouse. And so I think these are beautiful plants. You know, I'm going to let them keep growing in here. Maybe thin them a little here and there. They're mostly growing outside of the beds, as you can see. But I've got to cut the flower heads off so that I can get to the beds to do the weeding. That's just the dilemma I'm in, and it's just something I have to do. So goodbye, plantain flower heads, you beautiful, beautiful healing plants. Sorry I gotta do that, but I'm sure you'll survive. You're so healthy here, and you'll keep growing here, it looks like. So, just one little picture before I take these flower heads off. Just part of the balance. The corn is so high. It's on the average up to my shoulders, and that's growing up from a 6-inch bed. So you could say it's at least chest high, and this is the day after summer solstice, the 22nd of June. That is amazing that corn would be that high in June. Wow. Okay, back to work. So I've clipped out the plantain flower heads, and as you can see here and over here, I didn't cut them all out. I left a few here and there because I just wanted to acknowledge that I have no right to make anything extinct in any location or eradicate anything. So I did that, and then I discovered something amazing after I did that, and I looked at these clipped stalks of the plantain, and I wonder if you can see this and if I can zoom in close enough and keep a good focus. Is that these stalks are shaped like stars. When you cut them, you can see that. And I see here a bunch of 5-pointed stars. What do you call those? Pentangles? 5-pointed stars. I think that I'm a good focus on it right now. And so, of course, these are the first ones I looked at, and I thought, oh, they're all 5-pointed stars. But then I cut some more over here that were 6-pointed and 5-pointed. If you can see these, I hope you can. Let me. Oh, there they are. Okay, I see them now. I don't know how close I can get, but they weren't all 5-pointed. Here's some 6-pointed ones. And then over here, I think there is a mixture of 5-pointed star plantain stems. and 6-pointed, and even some that look like they're 7-pointed. And what I also realized is that the bigger, thicker stems had more points. So as they get older, they seem to get more. Although I see some 5s in here too. 5-point. Oh, how can I do this and get the good lighting on there? Yeah, okay. I hope you can see that. It's so hard for me to see in these little screens on the camera. Okay, I think I'm right on them now. Isn't that amazing? Every time you spend time in the natural world with your eyes open and your mind ready, you learn something. And so I did today. And I'm an old guy. And I keep learning things. You're never too old to learn. How about that? Well, this might be the end of your patience with this lesson. I'll stop now. Well, hello, kids of all ages. Well, I forgot to show you a couple of things in the video on weeding and mulching, so I'm going to do them now and splice them into the video. So yeah, I just didn't show enough weeding and mulching. So one of the techniques is to use a pruning clipper like this and go in and just cut. Here I'm cutting some lamb's quarter out. And then there was some more down here I was going to cut out. So we'll take these over to where I had started mulching and weeding by the peppers and show you what I do. I'll take some more from right here. Okay, that's enough just to demonstrate it. So this mulching is something you do after you weed an area. And I think I showed a little bit of that before. And these are my weeding tools, but I don't hardly ever use this one unless I have a really big weed I need to get out by the roots. But as I showed the other day, this really fertile kind of loose soil, you can just pull them out, just pinch and pull them and get the roots for most of them. Now, when I just cut them, I don't get the roots, but like I said, I leave a few companion plants. Okay, these are a little big. I think I'll just cut some of these. So, for example, okay, come in close here. Now here's a little dandelion start. I could probably just pinch it and pull it out. But if you think the roots are going to be big, you just go underneath, and there in less than a second I got the whole root and everything, and I can just put it on the ground. Here's a couple more, and we'll just mulch with them. There's a little red root pigweed, and this area has already been pretty clear, so I'll just show you now next to these peppers. You can see that I already did that in some spots, mulched with plants. So you just take a bunch of these and your shears, your pruning shears, and you just start cutting them up. Now you got to be careful not to cut your finger or the tip of it. I've done that a few times. And so everything you do, you kind of do mindfully, so you know where the different parts of your body are in relationship to your sharp tools, and in relationship to the plants too. You don't want to accidentally clip a plant. Maybe I should clip my finger just for a little drama or something to make these videos more exciting. No, that would be too much excitement. Okay, so once you've got a pile of them, you just kind of spread them around. They say you don't want them right up next to the plants. Just around them, so you gotta, make sure water comes through. Now, clipping them and chopping them up like this helps the water to go through better than what I was doing over there with the mullein leaves. Sometimes I break up those mullein leaves too, but yeah, so you make your piles and then spread them out, and just didn't get to show you this, and wanted to show you so we don't have to watch this too long. And this is one type of mulching. And I could say, if I thought these pigweeds were getting in the way, getting too big, here I'll just move some of them out. And like I showed you before over there, I do pull them out by the roots too, but not all the time. Here's some finished chamomile, which has some good nutrients. I'll put in the soil with these. And this is all part of it. So sometimes you pull them out by the roots, sometimes you let them stay as companions and trim them back. You just want to be mindful of not letting the place get too crowded and too competitive for your cultivated plants. Let's see, oh yeah, I got. Okay, so I'll just do this, and it doesn't all need to be on camera, and I'll splice this into the other video and make it more complete. Thank you. So we've mulched most of the pepper and basil in this bed, and I remembered something I forgot to mention earlier. Another benefit of mulching is that when you water here with a hose and a fine spray, the mulch prevents mud and dirt from coming up on your leaves. Like in this bare ground here that we haven't finished mulching in, the mud will splash on those leaves a bit. especially that basil, which is a little lower. And when you water on mulched areas, the water just goes right into the soil without splashing mud up onto the plants, which is just kind of nice for the plants and for your fruit, like this beautiful pepper here. Sorry, I keep forgetting the names of things. It just comes with the territory of old man stuff. I can't see what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, there's that pepper. Okay. Pepper. Okay. I just saw watermelon in here too. There. Our first watermelon that I noticed. There's probably more hiding in all this stuff here. And other melons starting. We'll see them pretty soon. They'll show up.